Hello, STC. Here we are with Sprint 5. Uh, First user story is a user should not be able to send double requests. This is most important for like the login and the creating user use cases. Login just because it's really long, so you'll see I can't click that anymore and it says I'm processing. And then also we don't want to be able to double create the same user because of the way that the timing, because it has to create a Dynamo entry and a Cognito entry, so like there might be a mismatch with the timing and two Dynamo entries might get made but only one customer, so it's kind of funky. So we block that. It's on other stuff too. There you can see processing and like that. So that's cool. Good job, Dan. A user should be able to sign out. So we somehow managed to get 4 people to work on this one relatively small user story. But now there's a sign out button. So you hit sign out and it hits tells Cognito that this user's signing out, and then it clears the tokens. That's basically it, and navigates to the login screen. A user should be redirected to the login screen if not logged in. So Steven took charge of this one. So for example, since I just logged out, and if I want to go to the dashboard, then it should send me right back to the login screen because I'm not logged in yet. A user is able to refresh the page. Okay, yeah, so before we were losing the tokens while trying to refresh. Now, however, we are able to we keep the tokens, we keep them in session storage. So there's like, from what I found, you can either do session storage or local storage. Session storage makes it so like if I close the tab and reopen it, I'll have to log in again, whereas local storage will keep you logged in. So I chose to do session storage just because it's like an admin app, so more security is better. But if you refresh here, you see you keep the tokens, and it does this. And there's also an issue with like the CloudFront routing kind of, or something weird going on. So Rohan got that under control. Let me skip these for now. Talk about those last. So then there's also a couple storyless tasks for Matt. Just a couple things with the customer creation. If I'm creating a new admin, then there should be a section for like a new organization. And then also all these entries are the ones for here, here, and here. So Matt got all those done. Okay, so what is this big chunk of stuff? This is the what Scott was talking about with putting more info into DynamoDB so that we can have like an organization info page. So the things that were required for that is having the code in the back end to store more stuff, having the stuff in the front end to give that stuff, and then also displaying it somewhere. So then I made the page, so all of those organizations are now links, and right now they just show default stuff, because there's one task we're struggling with trying to figure out how to like pass a variable along with a get request, and I think we have it figured out, but we didn't give Scott a whole lot of time to be able to work on that. So these are all the same task, but they're preventing it's one task that's preventing 4 different user stories from being closed. So I wanted to ask your guys' opinion on that, because we were told that we should like split up the different use cases here, because one should be like you're able to see the date that it was created, and you should be able to see the number of users and the number and the location and the contact info, and that those should be 4 separate stories. But then we ran into the case where one task is holding 4 user stories from being closed, which is not a good thing. And so I'm not sure what we should have done. Should they all have been 1 user story? I mean, ideally we should have just finished that one task. But yeah, so if you guys have feedback on that, that'd be cool. Otherwise, yeah, it was kind of a short sprint. And we're expected to finish a test report on Tuesday, meaning I don't know if the professor assumes that we should be done with our capstone, but we still have like 2 more sprints, but he wants the test report now. So I don't know. This professor is pretty confusing. But yeah. So thank you for your time. Let Matthew know the feedback as soon as you can.